Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's your man Mike Bowens coming to you once again, live and direct. I want to give this message to those out there. This message is the Love Alignment Part 2. I told you I was going to have a series on this because I think I'm going to actually have a seminar on this because it's very important. There are many couples who are together, but they're not together. They live together, but they don't get along. You know, it's what you call Tug OWar. People are fighting one another. I want my way, not your way. I want your way, not my way. You know, so people are fighting when they should be in unity, right? Scripture says that how can any two walk together unless they agree, right? It also says be evenly yoked. When you think about oxen and they put the yoke around their neck and they put another yoke around the other one's neck, they are walking together. They have to go in the same direction to move forward. If one of those oxen decides to go to the right and the other one decides to go to the left, they're going to be stuck right there. So that lets me know that as a couple, you can move along faster in life. You can be happier if you come into agreement with God and you come into agreement with each other. But if you constantly are at tug of war and you can't compromise, you can't get along to get along, then you're constantly going to have one person trying to go to the left, one person trying to go to the right, and you're not going to go anywhere. And the frustration mounts up and builds up because of constant headbutting, the constant fighting with one another, because you're not able to say, you know what you're saying makes more sense right now for us as a family or for us as a couple. So what I'm saying, maybe it's not time for that. Let's go the route that you're saying. Or the other person say, you know what? I was saying this, but you tweaked it a little bit, and this is even better for us to do. See, I think oftentimes some people, especially when they're single, when they come into a relationship, they have not grasped the fact that they're no longer single. And it's not my way or the highway, it's God's way. And it's the way that we should go that's best for us, not just best for me. And when you begin to understand that you should figure out what's best for you, for each other, then guess what happens? Happiness comes in that household. Peace comes in that household. You start walking around the house like, ain't no woman like the one I got. No one can treat me better. You start singing and dancing because you're not at strife with the person who you live with. You're not at the person with strife at the person with you say you love. You have happiness, you have joy with the person that you love. Because for one, you're seeking God together. And two, you're coming into alignment. You're not fighting one another. You're not trying to hurt each other with words. You're not trying to one up the person. You know, you see people oftentimes, you know, you go buy a pair of shoes. Oh, you ain't talked to me about buying a pair of shoes? I'm going to go buy a pair of shoes. And what? You know, you stayed out late? I'm going to stay out late. You talking on the phone a long time? I'm going to talk on the phone a long time. You spending the money in the budget? I'm spending money out the budget. What you're doing is hurting each other. Hello, McFly. What you're doing is hurting each other. You know? If I was Italian, I'd say, forget about it, okay? Forget about it. Listen, the fact of the matter is, when you do that, you're not hurting the other person, per se. You're also hurting yourself. Because you're a unit. You're together, whether you realize it or not. The Bible said when you get married, the two become one. So when you think that you're hurting the other person, you're also hurting yourself. Because you're a part of each other. You're connected. You're stuck together. You're stuck together at the hip. And so my thing is, why fight? Why hurt each other on purpose? Why not come into alignment on purpose? Why not sit down and have meetings? That's a word. Meeting. In a relationship, and sit down and talk about with a pad and pen or a recorder and talk about what it is that you would like to do, what it is that you would like to achieve, what vacation you would like to go on. Even, you know, like I said, I just had a mom pass. Even I'm sitting down talking about a will, right? This is very important. Talking about a will or talking about how you want your funeral to go. That's something me and my wife had to talk about for ourselves that we really never spoke about in terms of what do we want for our own funerals. Jeez. first you don't really care because you're like, I'm born again and my spirit not going to be in the body. But we have kids, we got family members, we got friends that's still going to be here when it comes for our time to go, which I'm praying is another 90 years. Give me 120, Lord Jesus. I'll take that. You got to consider their emotions, their feelings. You don't want them down here fighting on the earth while you out of here. You're gone. So, everything must be done decently and in order. And so that's something that we really had to talk about, because we're coming into alignment. It's not just, what I want. It's not just what she wants. And you got to be respectful of other people's feelings, man. I'm the type of person I could talk about spiritual things all day long. But do my wife want to hear it all day long? No. She's the type of person I could talk about decorating all day long. But do I want to hear about decorating all day long? No. So we have to respect each other, give each other those boundaries, knowing that, hey, this is what she likes to talk about. Well, sometime in the day I'll talk about that, I'll listen to it. Sometime in the day she'll talk about what I'm interested in terms of that. But other than that, we find a common ground and we stick to that. But also I'm talking about your plans for your future, for your children. What type of school should they go to? We got to get in agreement with that. How we should eat in the household, because that's a very important thing as well. Come into alignment with that, right? Because if you're the type of person who wants to be healthy, you're trying to eat right, and then your partner has very poor eating habits, guess what? It's going to be very difficult for you to maintain that healthy eating pattern. Because when that food is around you, it has voices. It talks to you. Eat me. This lamb chocolate cake. Just get a little bit of milk. It's going to taste fantastic. You're like, give me the cake. Give me the cake. So you got to come in alignment even with your eating habits. So when you do the grocery shopping, that you're together on that. Hey, we're going to slow down on some of this sugar. Hey, we're going to slow down on fried foods. Or hey, let's get off of dairy products, because it creates mucus in your body, which leads to disease. Right? Whatever. But you got to be in alignment together on everything in life as a couple, because when you're in alignment with that, with things in life, it makes life to flow easier, as opposed to you butting heads on which direction you should go in, on what you should do, on how you should do it. Right? The best form of communication, just to talk it out. Talk it out until you both feel comfortable in the decisions that you have to make. Pray about it, right? Seek God on it. Get His peace on it. And then come into agreement with it. Let's not make it harder than it has to be, folks. Because when you do that, peace comes upon you. You want to be home. When you are out of alignment, and here are some signs that you're out of alignment. When you're together in the house, you have nothing to talk about. You're out of alignment. When you get home, you want to leave. When you're home, it should be a sanctuary. Your home should be a refuge from the outside world. You should want to be home. You shouldn't want to go home just to change, take a shower, and leave because someone's nagging you and the stress and everything like that. Or you're nagging. Are you the one that's constantly nagging and stressing someone out? You got to evaluate these things and think, maybe I'm handling this the wrong way. Maybe I'm going the wrong way with this. And say, maybe I need to take a deep breath, woosah, and start over again. It's okay to hit the refresh button. It's okay to hit the reset button. It's okay to hit the renew button and start all over again. And sit down and talk it out. Hey, honey, this is what I'm doing, but what can I do better? How can I be a better wife? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better, spouse to you? And when you begin to do that, right, even if you're dating, how can I be a better boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, as we're in the dating process, right? And once you begin to communicate and know these things, and don't just be a hearer of the word, but be a doer of the word. Oftentimes people will tell you what it is that you could do better, and people will start off doing it and then they'll stop. What happens is you could be in alignment when you start doing it and then you stop. She likes flowers. She likes love notes. Why you stop writing them? He likes to be touched. Touch his head. Affection. Why'd you stop? When you do that, you're pulling yourself out of alignment. It's like if you ever had a car, you gotta get your wheels aligned. Because if not, when you're driving, the car just starts to go off the road. Even when you take your hand off the steering wheel, it goes off the road. And you have to take it every now and then to get the wheels aligned. Same thing with relationship. Every now and then you need to sit down in the shop and take that time to get aligned. You know, I'm not even opposed to couples going down and sitting and speaking with someone. A pastor, a therapist, someone to help them to get in alignment, to maybe work through some issues and move forward and not make it the blame game. It's her fault, it's her fault, it's my fault, it's his fault, whatever, it's the kid's fault. No, don't blame anybody. Just deal with the issues at hand, make the adjustments, and move forward. And that will help you to get into alignment. This is your man, Mike Bowens. I'm signing off until next time, saying be blessed.